Today on New Challenger, Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac creator Ed McMillan is going to get weird. He did not tell me he was going to get weird, but it is super probable that he's going to get weird. Today's episode of New Challenger is brought to you by Audible.com. Hello, Internet. I'm Anthony, and today I'm excited to have a ridiculously unique and prolific developer on the show. He is the creator of Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac, and one of the developers featured in Indie Game the Movie. And this week he is releasing the Basement Collection, all of his early games in one package on Steam. Hello there, Edmund McMillan.
Hello there.
That's you. You're Ed. Ed, I was not really thinking about it, and then you sent me the Basement Collection. And then I realized how many games it is exactly you've made. You've made like a million games.
Well, yeah, the games that are on the collection are not even half of the games that I've made, though. I cut out like 10 shitty games.
Some of my favorites are on there. Time Fuck is on there. Spewer is on there. Aether is on there. How does it feel after now completing Super Meat Boy and completing The Binding of Isaac to kind of go back and look at all this early stuff? How do you feel about it now?
Sometimes it's just kind of cringe-worthy, but like it's the building block thing where, I mean, I'm proud that I did it and I'm proud that I finished it, but certain times I'm looking back, especially at like Triactin and stuff like that, the older ones, and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? I was just learning really basic stuff, and I mean, in a lot of ways it's cool to think that maybe, 10 years from now I'll look back at Super Meat Boy and feel the same way because I'll have progressed and gotten better, which is a hope.
What was the kind of the motivation behind releasing this stuff? Was it sort of, did it have to do with Indie Game the Movie? Is it that a lot of people were going back and trying to find this earlier work, or was there a more kind of personal motivation to it?
Yeah, there were a couple reasons. I'd actually released this pack of games with a few of the games missing in 2008, and that was kind of like I think it was around the time my grandma passed away, and I decided that I was just going to go all in and just be like, I'm not going to half-ass this. I'm going to actually put all my time and effort into making games and getting my name out there so I can have a future. And I did this console, This Is a Cry for Help, and it featured like all of my Flash games and all of my comics and everything else, and it sold really well. We sold out of 1,000 copies that I ordered within the year, and a lot of people who actually picked up the CD, it ended up getting to the right people, I guess. Like I know like Cliffy B got a copy and actually contacted Microsoft and said, hey, you should check this guy out, and then somebody at Nintendo got a copy and contacted me, and somebody at Sony got a copy and contacted me, and it kind of built from there. And that was around the time where I was kind of like in this transitional period where I didn't know what I was going to do because I didn't have the ability to make console games. It reminds me in a lot of ways of, I don't know if you remember the South Park guys did the Spirit of Christmas VHS tape that kind of just got to the right people, and I guess this was a similar situation. And basically, a lot of people had to sign up for a while, and a lot of people would email me. I still get like every week I get an email saying like, where is This Is a Cry for Help? I want the collection, and would you ever do it digitally? And back then I didn't have, again, the option. I didn't have anybody that had the ability to put a bunch of Flash games together in a pack and like tie it all together. And just Tyler kind of was like, oh, I'm between, he was between finishing up the PlayStation 3 version of Closure and then releasing the PC version of Closure, and he had this little gap, and he's like, I could program it for you. We're like, oh, okay. And I kind of saw it as a way not only to get all the games back out to people, because the majority of people who have played Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac have no idea that I've made anything before. And it's kind of to squash that illusion of lottery success.
You were doing like way back in the day, one of the first things that I saw, the first time I spoke to you, I figured out that you were the guy who like 10, 12 years ago made some of the first cartoons that I had seen on Newgrounds and some of the first interactive stuff that I had seen. So there's like a whole generation of people that have only known you from Super Meat Boy, I guess. Is that weird?
It's been a very weird. It's weird to think that like you've got this like, I guess, your little bubble of reality. And back when I was in high school, my my relevance, went as far as the schoolyard, like the people who actually read my comics. And then it went a little further, and then I finally put myself online and got a little bigger. But it was like every one of those bubbles, I remember thinking, how could I get bigger than this? Like, there's no way that more people could like my stuff because my stuff's so weird. There's no way I'd be able to find this, because the reality is like, I make games for a very small demographic of people, but the thing is with the internet, that small demographic of people is millions of people.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty amazing that once you get to a point where you can actually have access to these people on the internet and they can find you, you've just got a shitload of people that can actually enjoy your work, and it's magical. But I mean, it's been a very long progression. I've been doing this for 10 years, and for 8 of those years, I was really, really poor. And really struggling and giving up every once in a while. And there were times where I just said I can't do this, and I got a real job. And there were times where I was trying to work on Gish and stuff like that, and had to have a part-time job. I worked at GameStop, and I worked for even like a Greenpeace.
Yeah, when we come back, I want to talk more about how some of these early games came about, and some of the extra stuff that's on the collection, because you put a lot of extra time and effort into this, and there's a lot of stuff there for the people who didn't know your work before. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, let's read some earbooks. Seriously, earbooks. Yes, the technology exists. Where do you get such a thing? You get it at Audible.com. Audible.com is the leading provider of downloadable digital audiobooks and spoken word entertainment. Audible has over 100,000 titles to choose from to be downloaded to your iPod or MP3 player, played back anywhere, anytime. Choose from books in any genre: science fiction, thrillers, drama, comedy, business, history. That's all of them. There are no more books. You could not tell me a genre that wasn't in there. I named them all. Go to audiblepodcast.com/challenger to receive a free audiobook download of your choice when you sign up today. Again, audiblepodcast.com/challenger for your free audiobook. So, talking about this collection, Edmund, this is a bunch of...
I want to talk about Audible.
Talk about Audible, please.
I can tell you right now that Danielle uses Audible, and she swears by it. Because she needs something, she's a reader for sure, but you can't read and sew at the same time. So
yeah, there you go. Earbooks. It's the only way to do it. Earbooks, everyone. So this collection, you said that you released it before, and a lot of these games are free online. You can still find them in places. What did you add to the collection? I mean, honestly, you're only charging $4 for the collection, but you went in and you added a ton of stuff. Can you talk about some of the extras?
Yeah, all the games have some extras in them. Like the top 3 games, like you mentioned, like Timefuck, Spewer, and Ether, are like the big 3. Those have the most love. Timefuck actually has a whole second chapter, which kind of acts as a sequel. It actually has a whole other story to it, and it's I'm pretty proud of that one.
And that
Spewer has a whole extra bonus chapter, and Ether has a bunch of new extras, and it's actually been like graphically enhanced and has a bunch of new physics stuff. All the game's physics and controls have been improved, and all the games are actually like full screen, high detail, and they all have achievements. It's all Steam integrated. And aside from all that, like each of the games have non-in-game bonuses, which are like all the sketchbook pages I have laying around, from all the different games in the collection, all like the character designs.
Talking about some of these, these extras and how things have been upgraded. I know Ether especially is a game that has like a lot of personal importance to you, and it's one of the more recent ones. And it was supposed to be a WiiWare release. Working on Ether or touching up Timefuck or any of these things, did they make you want to kind of go back and try that again, like maybe an expanded version of Ether for consoles or anything? Is that something you'd revisit?
Yeah, there are a few different games. Like I've got a lot of dream games, written down, places that I really want to do, and a sequel to Ether is definitely on the list. It's definitely something I want to do. Whenever I play it, I come up with a million ideas on how cool this would be, and this would be, and this would be. And Tyler feels the same way, and maybe one day we will eventually do it, but I've got like a lot of stuff lined up at this point. And I'm kind of like, the only rule set I have right now is to just kind of go with what moves me. Like right now, me and Tommy are working on Super Meat Boy the game, which is like a completely new Super Meat Boy for touch devices. And we've been working on it for a few months. He's been working on engine stuff, and I've been working on character design and all that stuff like that.
You've been releasing like Binding of Isaac and then the DLC, and now Basement Collection is stuff that has sort of shorter work cycles and is much more inexpensive for the gamer. Is that something that's more interesting to you than going back and doing something else that's on the scale of a Super Meat Boy?
I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't slightly scared about that kind of development again with all the stuff that happened with Meat Boy, even though I knew, like, I know going in now that there's never going to be that amount of stress anymore because I'm never going to be working for Microsoft in that same, manner.
Because you sleep on a pile of money now.
Well, it's this. Well, in a lot of ways, it's like, we don't need to worry. Like, it's not a make or break situation. And like the stuff that you see in the movie, like I get some emails too where it's like, I'm scared to make games because I saw the movie and I don't want to go through what you guys went through. And it's like, you're not gonna, like, and I wish I could tell look, I'm telling everybody this right now. Indie game, the movie, doesn't represent making indie games. It represents a very specific type of indie game being made. What you see in the movie was essentially like worst case scenario for the most risky thing that we'd ever done, where it's like, okay, we have this much money to live off of for the end of the game cycle. We thought we were going to develop it for a year. It went going for almost 2 years. We ran out of money completely. And then Microsoft is telling us, you need to get into this promotion, fail, like this person, this person, this person. And then these people like do fail, and they fail horribly, and you see it. And we're like, me and Tommy are like, oh my God, they have us projected as good as these people, and we're going to get fucked. It's a very intimidating thing to do because if you fail, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it, especially when it's big. Like, imagine if Fez, like, Phil gets so much shit already. Imagine if Fez failed. If he failed, he would just be bashed into the ground. Like, and you run that risk when you're doing really putting everything into it, and everybody sees that you are.
For some of the shorter and more positive and earlier development cycles in Ed's life, you can pick up the Basement Collection on Steam. It comes out tomorrow for $4. Ed, thanks so much for coming on the show. Always fun talking to you, man. Next week on the show, well, Lord, I don't even know what's happening next week on the show. All I'm thinking about right now is PAX, you guys, and I'm a little stressed, but it's gonna be good. Next PAX is gonna be good, and next week's show is gonna be good, so subscribe so you don't miss it. I have no idea what I'm gonna look like next week after PAX. It's gonna be bad.